term?
She's going to go.
Yeah,
That's an easy question. That's not going to take long. Do you want to see Joe
I
Biden?
don't want to answer that question because we have not. That's not. Yeah, I don't want to answer that question.
Okay.
I mean, he's the president, and he has the right to run for a second term. Absolutely. That's,
the right
but
to
I don't
run.
want to. I don't want. I'd rather you not do that answer.
You got like 2 minutes to be in the car.
Yeah, I know. I got to get to the.
Well, thanks very much.
The other.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And today we kind of get to see exactly what's going on here, specifically, for what's going on with AOC and how the people are honestly just turning their back on her. And I think this clip might emphasize some more things on what she's actually doing here and the insanity that she truly thinks. Take a look.
Conspiracy theories out of everything to distract you and keep you from talking about what's actually important, which is the fact that they are trying to take away your right to bodily autonomy. If I was faking that, why would I intentionally fist pump somebody? It's so silly. I have a feeling that my community is going to have my back on this one.
Now, we all see how that's being insane and what she thinks, and it seems like it's being quite the opposite here. So we're going to go exactly, we're going to go through this article and we're going to see exactly what they're saying and stuff like that about this current situation. This left is starting to realize AOC is just a performance artist, which I don't understand why they haven't really realized that before, but considering on how insane that they are, it's not really too terribly surprising to me. The knives are out on the woke left this week as one of its most prominent divas is catching shade from a bold new up-and-comer. The delicious drama pitch representative AOC against New York State Senator Jessica Ramos. The sniping began when a medical student took to Twitter to condemn members of AOC staff who skipped a meeting with prominent medical academics with a dismissive, "We're not doing healthcare right now." AOC dutifully apologized, saying the missed meeting did not represent her or her values. Okay, that's great. But you need to have your eyes open for certain things, right? Because, what we're supposed to do is come together, talk, and try to see if we can come to a middle ground and see if we can solve some issues. But if we can't actually do that, then, well, guess what? It's, what can you say? Maybe if you spent more time in your office and with your team, you'd know what goes on. Just saying it would be nice if you breathed our air, Ramos jabbed. Our district offices are on the same floor in the same building. She's barely ever present in the community. It's a distributable fact. Well, of course, it's not really a surprise that she does this. She's honestly fucking terrible at her job. She constantly lies, and when she lies, it's just fucking terrible, right? It's a most obnoxious thing. She's been caught after lie after lie after lie, and they're finally catching this on? Oh, come on, guys. Just because she believes in your fucking stupid values doesn't mean she's this great all-be-all person. And that's the same thing on the right. Just because somebody agrees with some of my values doesn't mean they're a great be-all person. They could be honestly just terrible. And that's exactly what AOC is. This wasn't a gentle gab meant to correct AOC's course. It was a political body slam, and an impressive display of the very Twitter snark Ocasio-Cortez is known for. But as shocking as the insults were, they didn't exactly come out of the blue. Back in April, AOC was shunned by organizers who organized an Amazon distribution center on Staten Island. They claimed the champion of labor and socialism had left them high and dry during their fight. This is just a couple of years after the progressive Queen of Queens was key to killing a deal with that same Amazon that would have brought thousands of jobs to her district. I mean, time and time again, she shows she's just a complete idiot. She doesn't really have a high IQ, at least I don't think she does, because everything she says or has done has been very, very stupid. Now, I can't say for the far left where their policies are really intelligent because they have been bad, but that doesn't say that they're necessarily stupid. But AOC has really came out as coming to be very, very, very unintelligent. So her staff won't meet with healthcare experts. She won't meet with union organizers. She kills jobs in her community, not surprised. And according to Ramos, who wasn't quite done cascading her victim, AOC won't even sit down with local leaders and politicians. This has to lead her constituents and all New Yorkers asking of Ocasio-Cortez, what exactly would you do around here? The answer is nothing, AOC. You see, as a figure of a natural prominence, an avatar of a far left. She can't be bothered with the minutiae of everyday lives and practical policies. She has a brand to build wield, a gallows to attend, invisible handcuffs to pretend to be locked in. Ha ha! Even the far left are calling out on her BS. Gotta love it. Or, as aspiring doctor who kicked off the Fluffle put it, so while she's doing performance resistance art for the cameras, she's not doing healthcare right now. We should forgive conservatives and maybe even some moderate Democrats who may be enjoying a supersized portion of Shekinah fruit over this progressive infighting. After all, we've been pointing out that AOC is all performance art for some time. It's heartening to see the progressives are catching on. Yeah, well, it's finally catching up to her. She's finally being an actual legitimate lunatic, and people are calling out on her BS. So, I mean, she gets what she gets. And it also seems it's not going too great for her as well, as fundraising by AOC's progressive New York's pals sputters ahead primaries. The Green New Deal may be in the red. It has always been in the red, but I would say that her ideas are not the greatest. Progressive locked in tough primaries across the state posted abysmal fundraising numbers in their quarterly disclosure forms, suggesting grassroots energy on the far left continues to wane. The data shows that even the blessing of squad leader Rep. AOC has failed to move the needle. People are just tired of them. They look around and see increased crime, more chaos, and they blame the progressives for it, said veteran Democratic strategist Hank Shekow, who cautioned that in low turnout August elections, the winner will be whoever has the best ground game turn to turn out supporters. Well, every Democratic place is honestly terrible and has high crime. But of course, they don't care because they just want to have this fame on top of the fact of ruining people's lives because they don't really care about anybody else. That's just pretty much every role of politician. Every politician is honestly garbage. I don't really like them. There might be a select few that are decent, but I think every politician is honestly just terrible. With a month to go before the Democratic primaries, progressive candidates are finding themselves strapped for cash. In the new 17th district, which stretches along the Hudson Valley from the tip of Greenburgh all the way to East Frenchkill, incumbent Representative Sean Patrick Monley hauled in $826,000. The powerful boss of the dramatic Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee will head into the last stretch of the race with more than $2.5 million in the bank. His progressive opponent, State Senator Alexandra Biaggi, netted only $250,000 during the same period. The likely GOP nominee, Assembly Mike Lawler, also trounced Biaggi in fundraising, taking in $350,000 to $804 record show. Well, I mean, that's only like $100,000 more. I mean, it's not that much more, honestly, compared to what they have. I want to say trounced, but I would definitely say more. Robert Jamal Bowman, despite the advantages of his incumbency, also came up short to his chief primary opponent, Westchester County Legislator Gashi. Bowman's second quarter haul of $255,000 trailed Gashi's $301,000. The wealthy district just south of the 17th includes much of Westchester County. Bowman has around $100,000 less cash on hand than Gashi heading into the home stretch. Both Bowman and Biaggi have endorsed by AOC and a litany of other progressive activist organizations. The trend is the same as even in races the squad leader has waded into. In Staten Island, Max Rose outraced his primary challenger, the socialist stripper Brittany Ramos DeBarros, almost 7-1. In New York City's heavily contested 10th congressional district of Lawyer and Manhattan Park Slope, progressive candidate Assemblywoman Yu Lang Neo, I can't pronounce these names, man, I am terrible, raised just $241,000 in her most recent filing. Behind moderate Dan Gomez $1.2 million, even former Mayor DeBelzo, who just dropped out of the race, posted a respectable $510,000. You have to look at where progressive raise money. It's all online. It's digital. It's social. You burn those lists so quickly, said senior Democratic House staffer. It's a saturation of people going to the same folks in the same place every time and asking. Well, I don't know about that. It might also be because you guys' policies are honestly terrible. But, yeah. I go far as to say is that you guys are really not doing well at all. AOC is honestly quite stupid, in my personal opinion. And I'll keep on saying that, and I don't think the process is going to win in. Everything's going to get worse for the Dems, I think. I don't think everything's going to go as far as well as they're going to, because as the inflation keeps on increasing, as people have to keep on paying more for food and gas, mostly, it's going to be mostly food at this point, because gas is going to be a secondary commodity, because, yeah, they have to get from point A to point B, but if they can't put food on the table because food's too expensive, then, well, that's going to be a huge problem. So, I think the Democrats are going to be in a huge war to hurt, and especially in the next coming year, and they're going to be having some major issues to shift through. Alright, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.